She had it all: a husband, 2 sons, a perfect life. A betrayal that started small spiraled into something dangerous. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for updates. Now enjoy Confessions of a Married Woman.
I stare at the mirror above the bathroom sink, hoping to find the answer somewhere in the reflection of my tired, haunted eyes. The guilt is a suffocating fog, clinging to my chest and making every breath a labor. My husband, Daniel, and I had been married for 12 years. We had lived a simple, normal life. But normal ended 6 months ago. It started innocently enough, or so I've been telling myself. I wasn't searching for something new or exciting. My life was predictable, and I was content with its rhythm. Or at least, I thought I was. But then I attended that book launch, eager for a quiet night out. A small escape from the monotony. Daniel had passed on the event, as he often did these days. "You go ahead," he had said, with a half-hearted smile. His attention more on his phone than on me. I remember the air being charged that night, buzzing with the kind of energy only artists and intellectuals seem to exude. And then there was him, Jordan. He was young, maybe a decade younger than me, though his confidence made him seem older. His smile was a slow, deliberate thing, as if he knew the effect it had. He spoke with a self-assuredness that felt magnetic. And when his hand brushed against mine as he signed my book, I felt a flutter in my chest, a feeling I hadn't experienced in years. Our first date wasn't even supposed to be a date. We ran into each other at a cafe a few weeks later. The coincidence felt almost serendipitous. Over coffee, he spoke about his writing, his passions, his dreams. I hadn't realized how starved I was for that kind of attention until I was soaking it up like parched earth. When he said, "I'd like to see you again," my heart raced. But not with fear or hesitation. It raced with a dangerous kind of excitement. I could blame Daniel for being inattentive. I could say he had grown distant over the years. His touch perfunctory, his kisses habitual. I could point to the fact that he barely noticed when I wore my favorite dress or tried a new perfume. But if I'm honest, none of that truly explains what I did. Our marriage wasn't fiery, but it wasn't broken either. I wasn't even the kind of person who placed much weight on physical intimacy. Or so I thought. With Jordan, everything changed. He made me feel seen, alive, and utterly desired. Our first kiss was an explosion. It was at his apartment after another. Innocent meeting. 1 minute, we were laughing about some absurd plot twist in a book, and the next, his lips were on mine and the world blurred. His hands were firm, exploring with a confidence that made my knees weak. That night, we crossed a line I never thought I'd cross. I told myself it would be just once, a moment of madness, a spark to reignite whatever had dulled inside me. But it wasn't just once. Our affair became a storm, intense, chaotic, impossible to control. We met in hotel rooms, in his apartment, in secluded corners of parks where no one would recognize us. He wrote me letters, poetic and sensual, which I read and reread in the quiet hours of the night when Daniel was asleep beside me. He whispered things to me that made my skin flush, things I never knew I wanted to hear. And yet, Every time I came home, the weight of what I'd done sat on my chest like a stone. Daniel would greet me with the same unchanging affection. A kiss on the forehead, "How was your day?" and I would feel like the worst person alive. I started avoiding his eyes, afraid he'd see the guilt pooling in mine. I became clumsy in the kitchen, my mind drifting to Jordan even as I stirred pots or chopped vegetables. I burned dinner twice in 1 week, lost in daydreams of his touch. But the most unbearable part was how Daniel's obliviousness made him seem so vulnerable. He trusted me. Even in his quiet neglect, he trusted me completely. It made me hate myself. I tried to end it with Jordan, twice in fact, but every time the pull was too strong. He would say something or touch me just so, and my resolve would crumble like a sandcastle against a wave. "You deserve to feel this way," he'd whisper, and I wanted to believe him. I've spent countless nights trying to dissect what went wrong, where it all began. Was it my hormones, some latent lust I had suppressed for years? Was it Daniel's fault for not making me feel desired? Or was it something darker, something about me that I've been too afraid to confront? The truth is, I don't know. And perhaps that's what terrifies me the most. Now, as I sit here, the echoes of my guilt bouncing off the walls, I find myself on the edge of another precipice. Last week at the grocery store, I met another young, handsome enchanter. Another wizard, resplendent in his tempting allure. He was helping his elderly mother pick out produce, and we struck up a conversation over the ripeness of avocados. His smile was easy, his laugh infectious. We talked for no more than 10 minutes, but when I left the store, I realized I couldn't stop thinking about him, the way he looked at me, like I was someone worth noticing, the way he laughed at my awkward joke about the price of cherries. The same hunger I felt with Jordan is stirring again. I hate it. I hate myself for it. But it's there, undeniable and insistent. I wish I could tell Daniel. I wish I could bare my soul to him, confess everything and beg for his forgiveness. But I'm too much of a coward. I'm terrified that once the words are out, they'll shatter whatever remains of our marriage, our 2 sons, and I'll be left with nothing but the ruins. So I keep this secret, though it festers like a wound. And I wonder how long I can live like this, torn between the life I have and the temptations I can't seem to resist. How long before the guilt consumes me entirely, or worse, how long before I give in again? The mirror offers no answers. Just the reflection of a woman I barely recognize anymore.